by raising conscription, Putin sends very strong signal to the whole world, to President Trump, that he's not going to stop. He can only double down, but he will never back down. And this is the key issue. And to change the situation, we need to put together, we need to put more pressure on Putin, on Russia, by introducing serious sanctions, by providing more military support, military aid to Ukraine. This is the only solution. Putin would never stop. He is obsessed with destroying Ukraine, with subjugating Ukraine, annexing our territories, and we should be realistic about this.
Now, amid prolonged back and forth negotiations with the United States over the ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, we've heard from the Kremlin today that a sticking point could be the tenure of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. It comes as the Times reports that's changed in front of me. It comes as Vladimir Putin's ordered another 160,000 Russian citizens to be called up to serve in the military. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reacted to Kremlin's red line by saying that they would like to address the root causes of the conflict before any ceasefire deal is agreed, that they can't do that while Zelensky is in power. Zelensky has reacted to that by saying this is the latest indication that Russia have no intentions to come to the table at the moment and instead are preparing a massive new offensive to grab more land before the actual peace talks really begin. Well, joining me now is Oleksandr Merezhko. He's a Ukrainian MP and chair of the Committee on Foreign Policy. Oleksandr, a warm welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a huge pleasure.
Let's just dig into the detail here. So we've heard from a Russian deputy foreign minister today, and what we're hearing is that Russia cannot accept any kind of peace deal from President Trump while there are still root causes in play. Root causes is the quote, but what that's largely understood to mean is that's Kremlin's shorthand for President Zelensky's pro-Western government in Ukraine in power. So therefore, Russia is saying as long as Zelensky's at the helm and his party is at the helm, we won't be entering into any deal at all. Does that ring true to you?
Well, first of all, it was predictable. I had no doubts that Putin will say something like that because he has never been interested in ceasefire, in any kind of truce or peace. And it was absolutely predictable for all Ukrainians. And what Putin is trying to do, he is trying to remove President Zelensky because Zelensky presents a danger for Putin, his power, because Zelensky has become a symbol of Ukrainian defiance, Ukrainian resistance. And this is one of the reasons why Putin wants, at any cost, maybe even using our American friends, to use from power President Zelensky, despite the fact that Zelensky as a president is being supported by 2/3 of Ukrainians right now, according to the recent polls.
So you still call them your American friends? That is despite a really rocky road over the past month or so.
Well, we have to stand with our friends no matter what. Even if your friend goes temporarily crazy, you don't stop being friends. You're trying to help and doing whatever you can. But, well, jokes aside, for us, the United States remains our true friend, our partner, our ally, because, we might have some misunderstandings with President Trump, but we're talking about the whole country, the state, United States, and luckily we continue to enjoy support of majority of congressmen and American society.
Yeah. Do you think Donald Trump feels the same about you? Do you think he would call you and Ukraine friends, close friends?
I do hope that he continues to regard us as his friends. We're doing everything what we can under the circumstances. But of course, maybe President Trump is playing this game, and it's part of rhetoric when he wants to entice Putin to negotiating table to make a deal, and that's why he's because we see he's making similar kind of compliments addressed to North Korean dictator. So maybe it's part of his political rhetoric.
Let's talk about Vladimir Putin, and he's done something pretty significant today that could, dramatically change or perhaps accelerate the course of this war, and not in a good way for Ukraine. Vladimir Putin's called up 160,000 men today, aged 18 to 30. It's Russia's highest number of conscripts since 2011. He's putting a big emphasis on expanding the size of his military. What is your response to that?
Well, by raising conscription, Putin sends very strong signal to the whole world, to President Trump, that he's not going to stop. He can only double down, but he will never back down. And this is the key issue. And to change the situation, we need to put together, we need to put more pressure on Putin, on Russia, by introducing serious sanctions, by providing more military support, military aid to Ukraine. This is the only solution. Putin would never stop. He is obsessed with destroying Ukraine, with subjugating Ukraine, annexing our territories, and we should be realistic about this.
Does this then accelerate the need for a ceasefire, for a peace deal? You've got the number of military would rise to 2.39 million, the number of active service men to 1.5 million. In light of this, and in understanding what might be best for Ukraine, and when it's a good idea to try and call it quits, does this accelerate the urgency for a ceasefire deal and a deal for longer-term peace?
Unfortunately, ceasefire remains to be something elusive for a very simple reason, because Putin doesn't want any real ceasefire. We had ceasefires, dozens of them, under the Minsk Accords. So, and it never prevented Putin from
So even if you did get a ceasefire deal, you wouldn't have faith in it?
Yes, and the only thing is just to stand up to this aggression and to arm Ukraine. That's the only thing which can make him, to force him into a ceasefire.
Okay, well, look, we'll leave it there for time, but thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Oleksandr Merezhko, who is a Ukrainian MP and chair of the Committee on Foreign Policy. Good to speak to you.
А мабуть він валявся на дорогі.